And are we ready? Okay, faculty, this is Robbie Melton, the real Robbie Melton, the one that loves to teach, not the grad dean, not the AVP of the Smart Center, not all that. This is Robbie Melton. Wow, I love to teach. That's what I'm going to do, and that's what I came back to do. And in coming back, I was able to use open education resources. What you really don't know about Robbie Melton is I've been teaching for Tennessee State University since 1985. Yes, and even though I was with the Board of Regents for 25 years, I always taught every semester, fall, spring, summer, for TSU. Never stopped. So upon reaching that beautiful retirement age, I said I was going to go back to TSU and just teach. That lasted one semester. Somebody told somebody that Robbie Melton is back on faculty. And then, as you know of the story, I was called to help the graduate school. That help led into where I am now. However, today I'm a faculty member and I love it. And yes, I'm teaching right now. Even coming back as grad dean and all that other stuff, I teach every semester. So I come to you as a faculty member, but also as one to help you with open education resources. So for the first 15 minutes, I'm going to give you the data regarding OER. Then I'm going to take you where you actually have hands-on with OER, because we have updated the site. And when you hear update, and who's we? Well, we're working with the whole system of California. And you'll see why in a few minutes, the whole system, as well as 5 other states, Colorado, Wyoming, Ohio, name it, because they have mandates to use OER. And I'm on the Tennessee State Department OER team, where Tennessee, yes, Tennessee, and all of our campuses, public and private, will be launching this fall an OER site for the state of Tennessee. Life is good. Now, if you stay on for the last 15 minutes, I have some really good news, because hopefully today, we will hear from the Hewitt Foundation, who is, well, I'm going to think positive, who is going to give us some little seed money for you, not me, for you all to pilot OER. It might just be $5, but life is good. But we're looking for a faculty member to pilot OER. And when I say pilot, I'm not saying take out what you do and throw it out. No, you might want to use a module. You might want to use a little teaching material. You might want to use a book, or you might want to be one of our researchers, hint, researchers, where we compensate you for helping us to invest with OER and to work with other HBCUs that have been working with us the last 2 years who have already implemented OER. If you are in a subject area and you can't find materials, we want you badly, because we would like to support you and your research and your teaching in finding what we call quality open education resources, free, students can use, and we help you to find them. So what better workshop is this? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to put your name and your email and your discipline in the chat. And I'm going to first thank Cheryl and her team, and thank you all for being willing to come to hear about open education resources. So let's start rocking and rolling. I'm sharing my screen and I'm bringing up the PowerPoint, and we're going to run through this, baby. And then we got some work to do. So with that, everyone, welcome. And this is the impact of OER on higher education learning. Why am I taking the time to share this with you all? Because you all need to know we have research. This is not something like, hey, it's free, use whatever you want to, life is good. We have research that will help share with you, and I'm going to change PowerPoints, hold on, that what we have for OER. So hold on one quick second while I pick up the right PowerPoint. And here we go. It's just that easy. So open education, OER, is a partnership that we have with Merlot. And as you see, as I move this over, the cost of textbooks prompted OER. And you will see that every year we spend, and I say we because I'm always a student, $14 billion on college textbooks. And per student, it comes out to be around $1,200 a year on books. So with that, you'll see that the cost keeps going up and up to the point that the books outpace in terms of increases, medical care, home prices, etc. Also, look at the inflation rate. Textbook wholesale prices have been rising 4 times the rate. And we're talking textbooks. And again, 7 out of 10 students don't purchase textbooks. They can't afford it. And we have many students dropping out of school because they can't afford textbooks versus tuition. So with that, I just wanted to share with you in terms of the percentage change in prices just from 2006 to 2011. And look at clothing, food, housing, PC, tuition, and textbook is the highest. So with that, I just wanted to share with you where the new textbook dollar goes. You'll see 77.9 goes to wholesale costs. We have some 11 to go to the bookstore, on and on, but 77.9 cents back to the bookstore. But I'm not here to blast or to just rip down the bookstores. I'm here to share with you there are other options. And we all know that students cannot learn from books they cannot afford. So I just have a little video I would like to run for you all.
The use of textbooks in university courses is as common as ice cream on a hot summer day. On average, students in the US spend about $600 per year on textbooks. Canadian students spend around $385 per semester. Commercial textbooks are expensive, and students report that these prices negatively impact their learning and time to graduation. But as some professors have discovered, there is an alternative to expensive textbooks that come from commercial publishers. These alternatives are called Open Educational Resources, or OER. OER are teaching and learning materials that are free and give students permissions to access, read, and share them. These resources come with licenses that allow instructors to revise or remix them to better fit with their courses. Some professors already use OER. Others have not even heard of them. But when they do, they wonder if these free resources are as effective or of the same quality as the textbooks they currently use. Over the past few years, several researchers have been studying open educational resources. Dr. John Hilton recently published a systematic analysis of the effectiveness of these resources and the perceptions students and professors have about them. Based on the results of this research, we think that open educational resources have the potential to make higher education more accessible to students. Dr. Hilton's paper focused on the available literature. The literature consisted of 16 empirical studies that examined courses where OER had replaced traditional textbooks. Some of these studies looked at learning outcomes and student success rates to judge how effective these resources were. Others looked at the perception students and professors had of open educational resources. Here's what the analysis of these studies showed. The studies that looked at the effectiveness of OER generally compared groups of students who had used the resources to groups of students that had used the textbook. Most of these studies found that students who used the OER had higher test scores, lower failure rates, or lower dropout rates than students who had used the traditional textbook. Only one study suggested that OER were connected with lower levels of success for some of the students. The studies that looked at student and professor perceptions of OER revealed that the majority of students and professors viewed open educational resources positively. A sizable majority felt that OER were of better quality than traditional textbooks. About half said that they were of similar quality, and only a few thought that OER were inferior. Students liked OER because they were free. Professors liked the open content and up-to-date material. In his paper, Dr. Hilton is careful to note that none of the studies he reviewed claimed that OER caused higher test scores or fewer dropouts. Many studies had design limitations that might have influenced their findings. For example, in a number of studies, the open educational resources were just one part of a larger course redesign, such as flipping or blending. Full summaries and critiques of each of the studies are included in the paper and can be found on the website of the Open Education Group, which is constantly being updated to include new material. To recap, there are two key findings in this work. First, using open educational resources does not decrease student learning. Students generally did better, not worse, when using free OER compared to expensive textbooks. Second, OER are generally perceived to be as good as, if not better than, traditional textbooks. Students and professors both expressed that OER were of high quality, and unlike printed textbooks, they offered flexibility. These findings should lead us to question the value of traditional textbooks. As Dr. Hilton asks, if the average college student spends so much money on textbook and yet performs no better than the student who uses free OER, what exactly is being purchased with all that money? A more detailed discussion of the significant implications can be found in the published paper. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you liked the summary of this paper, please share it with your friends, colleagues, and students.
So therefore, I just wanted to give you an overview regarding the research of open education resources. And one thing is clear, the current textbook market is failing to meet the needs of our education system. And there are alternatives. This is not to say throw everything out. It's to say there are alternatives. So as part of the research, we have gathered, I'm saying a collective from all over the world now, to find education materials that benefit all students, faculty, etc. And so, and I bet you didn't know this one, Tennessee State is the OER hub for all of the other HBCUs. We received a grant 2 years ago just to go out and make HBCUs aware of open education and to even give them a little stipend for just being willing to try it. So we targeted high enrollment courses such as Gen Ed. And I am pleased to share with you that Bethune-Cookman, first 2 years of Gen Ed, the first two, 90% of the courses are open education using free and low-cost textbook. And the return on the investment is high. Again, for those of you just coming in, I had presented earlier that the textbook company, $14 billion a year. So if we could just take a little of those funds and put them back into teaching and learning, it is well worth it. So with that, we created the Tennessee State OER called TSU Excel for Ed website. And with that, I am now going to move and take off my PowerPoint because it's time for you to work. I'm going to ask all of you to watch me go through a website that is ready for you all right now. I'm going to go back and share my screen, and I am going to bring up the website for you all. And so you can leave here knowing that we are ready to work with you. So give me a few minutes as I minimize all of these good resources and to bring up, here we go. Let me just open a new window and move my bar over and TSU, and here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you logged in for. I need to announce to you, and it's ready right now, the TSU OER website. As you see, we have everything already ready for you, and this site will help you to locate free quality online learning materials at any time, from any location, and from any computer, as well as any device. So if you're on your phone, you're on your tablet, you're using a PC, you're using a Mac, even a BlackBerry, you can get to this site. Again, we have it already organized for you. And yes, you're recognizing some of our own colleagues. So this lets you know we've been working for you. So if you would like to find free and open e-textbooks, you just click here, and we have it per discipline. So here are your free and open e-textbooks, as well as those with a Creative Commons license. In other words, everyone, we have taken care of granting, obtaining, finding the Creative Commons licensing, all of the copyright, on and on. So let's just click and see what we have. So again, these are free e-textbooks. These are full books, as well as virtual labs. So if I was going to look for a book or whatever regarding, and I'm just going right to the search, and I'm going to just put DNA. Here is open OER book, and I'm going to go right to the materials so you can see what type of resources we have. Now, I didn't log in under my names, and that's great because now you see that it's also password protected. So I'm now going over to my other backdoor because I'm part author, But you see over here, sign up. The sign up is free. One more time. The sign up is free. Must you be a member of TSU? For this particular site, which we tried to gather TSU information resources working with our TSU library, if you were not a TSU person, can you still access? The answer is yes. Must you be a college student? No. Must you be a faculty? No. This site and all open education resources open to anyone who can get on a device via the internet and can use this materials. Ladies and gentlemen, that is powerful. That is empowerment. We created open education for everybody in the world. The sign up, again, free, gives you other benefits such as, how about a free e-portfolio for you, for your students to collect information. So I'm going to just go to the material. And again, I'm hoping that my back door, because I didn't wait to log in, will work. And if not, I'm going to go ahead and log in like I'm supposed to. But I just wanted to demonstrate as I go back for TSU how we have all of your textbooks from art, business, education, humanities, math, science, social studies, as well as if you can't find it. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Tennessee State University, we have a graduate assistant that will look for you. We know what it is in terms of time and effort. So on behalf of our alignment, our partnerships, as well as in-house, working with our own librarians, you have Angel, you have Dr. Glenda, all of us are pushing for OER, and I hope that Glenda is online so she can also share how that unit is promoting OER. Glenda, are you online?
Yes, I'm online, and I've put our Faculty Select OER database URL in the chat, and I'm getting ready to put our OER research guide link in the chat. So the library is very involved in OER, and we have a database that's specifically for faculty to select OER books, and they have digital rights free books, and all the books in there are unlimited users. So you can assign it to a class, you can put them in your e-learn class. We also have a research guide that points you out to other OER sources. If you want to order a book from Faculty Select, there's a link in there. It comes directly to me, and I can order the book, and it will be available the next day.
And I'm gonna, as soon as I finish, I'm gonna have you to come, but I have to stop. Faculty, you're not excited? When I heard that, I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to share with me that the resources, the portals, the staffing, the support already there, and all I have to do is text or search, and life is good? So let me talk to you from a student's point of view. I'm from Detroit. And yes, long time ago in yesteryears, when tuition full-time was only $120, I still couldn't afford books. So I would pick those professors that would not require a book. Or I would do like many of you will not own up to, I would go and hog, the word is hog, that one book that was on the reference desk in the library, so I would keep up with the class. Ladies and gentlemen, we have in 2020, with the technology and with the support for every student to be ready the first day of classes. One more time, with open education, it's open 24 hours, 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, Sunday, all around the world. That means that every student at the start of every semester can have access and be right there with everyone else, not waiting on the Pell Grant, loans, friends, or copying, which we know is illegal to copy someone else's entire book. We now are ready for our students to be ready. So with that, with this collection, not only do we have your free and open text, we have it where we are going to compensate faculty members to showcase when they use open education. We would like to showcase what you are doing. So starting this fall, if you are using open education, we would like for you to serve as a model, as well as work with your chairs and deans to highlight that as scholarship. The one thing that I am pleased to share with you all upon leaving the Tennessee Board of Regents, we worked with all of the chief academic officers from all 47 campuses to say that if you contribute over 10 what we call learning objects to Merlot, and that's our OER partner, it would count as scholarship, as a scholarship activity, because your submission goes into a blind review where faculty members will review what you have submitted to see if it should be part of this collection. So with that, you see the showcase, you see the community. And again, looking for faculty evaluators. With our OER, if you would like to be an evaluator of people submitting information, we will have, starting this fall, funding for you to participate in that activity. Accessibility. Yes, we adhere to all federal guidelines. So when I click very quickly on an object, you will see if it has or has not been evaluated for accessibility. And again, we have our HBCU pilots. By the way, 15 HBCUs are participating in the pilot. So with that, I would now like to just share with you how easy, and the word is what we try to do, and it's called the SMART search. So if I'm looking for a collection, a discipline, oh, by the way, let me stop here and share with you the academic disciplines. We have collected open resources in the following area: ag and environmental science, biology, business, chemistry, communication sciences and disorder, computer science, criminal justice, engineering, English, fire safety, health sciences, history, information technology, instructional technology, math, music, physics, professional coaching, psychology, sociology, statistics, teacher education, technical allied health, world languages, on and on. So again, just to let you know, we have not just one discipline, we try to add all and working on many more. So with that, when you just want to browse material, right on the home page, you put in your discipline area, and I'm just putting in history. And remember, I didn't log in to let you know, at any time people can just go. And I'm going to go in And I'm just going to put the Vikings. And maybe I'm teaching history and the chapter is on Viking. Here we have, and I'm just pulling up randomly, the Vikings, and I just want to demonstrate to you, if I don't have to log back in, the type of materials that will come up. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about animation, simulation. We're not talking about just what I call the old black and white printed material. So here's a guided tour of the Viking. Again, you see, and I'm trying to bring in the animation just to give you what all of this is about. And by the way, this is from the Smithsonian Institute. So I'm going to see, I don't want to click flash because I'm using a Mac. So I'm going to go just in, but if I had my flash on, you can actually see all of the animation. So again, this is the type of materials, just a click away for your students and for you to use. And we have taken care of copyright, creative license, on and on. So in moving back, I just want to share with you again, we have this already set up. So you just hit find and you find free e-textbook, free course material. How about free and open online courses that's already ready? We're not sure what's going to happen even tomorrow. I saw on TV that the states of Texas and others are thinking about going back. On behalf of TSU, faculty, I want you to know every hour, Dr. Glover and the cabinet are monitoring data. We're trying to say, okay, should we not? Should we move here? Should we move there? What I do know, and what I want to come to you to say, on behalf of TSU Global Online, we're going to be ready regardless. We're going to take the lowest common denominator to say that every faculty member will have a course shell ready. Every faculty member will have a link to an education courses, as well as we're going to be right there with you regardless of what happens. So here, find free and open online courses. Again, you see the discipline. You can even explore open courseware by occupation. Will you find everything? The answer is no. That's why you're online. If nothing else, you should be putting in your discipline, and if you do not find quality materials, you got to let us know. Don't complain, don't throw it out, tell us, because we are dedicated to go and find the materials. One more time, Bethune-Cookman has already jumped forward from 2 years ago of working with Tennessee State and looking at utilizing OER free textbooks and material for their gen ed. We know that the upper division, you're going to find less materials, but we have grant money coming in to help us to work together. If you need help in even teaching with OER, I am pleased to share with you this fall, we will partner with another faculty member from around the nation who has used OER in your area. So with that, because of time, I just want to share, even with virtual labs, we try to find virtual labs And I'm pleased to share, and Cheryl might be online or she might be working on those virtual labs. We're going to purchase, per the recommendation of the STEM faculty members, some virtual labs to start this fall. So again, we have virtual labs here, but we also know that in your discipline, you might have other virtual labs that might cost some money, and we have already secured the funding. Did you hear that? We secured it. It's on campus right now. We're processing so that in 7 weeks, you will have what you need to go forward. So moving from virtual labs, I'm going to take you now to a site for technical, career and technical training. Would it not be nice if we had open education resources for careers, business management, human resources, education, ag, all of your STEM, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, this is brand new. You now can explore open courseware by occupation. And with that, I'm going to take you to a site, which is, by the way, already connected to this, but I'm going to take you to a site called Skills Commons, which is a part of us. So for technical education, all of the community college, this site is sponsored by the Department of Labor. And for this one, you type in the career, and I'm going to type in nursing, and we have current, and we keep this current, the industry, what's going on. You see healthcare, and look at the number of entries as well as material type. So if you have to create a course in nursing, we have right now 166 syllabi, presentation. How about simulation, hybrid courses, online courses module. In other words, you can take what we have here and basically customize, build your entire course, enhance your entire course using all of this information. This is transition to nursing practice, and you will see all of the PowerPoints, words, material, as well as reviewers regarding this. And again, did you know that you can download all of this material? Did you all know it will customize to whatever screen you are using? If you are on a phone, you can download, or you can go back, and all of this material, the materials you find here, will customize to your phone screen, to your tablet screen, to your computer screen. So again, we are here because you all got some heavy lifting to do, heavy lifting. However, I am pleased to share with you all today, on behalf of Global Online, we have staffing coming in to sit with you, to help you with your courses. So I don't want you to think, oh, I'm just gonna Zoom. Zoom is not online delivery of quality courses. It got us through, but now we are responsible for having quality, rigor, standard courses. And again, faculty, July the 6th, when you come back off of vacation, you will have a template where you can go in and start building your courses in eLearn. If you say, that sounds a lot, then let me repeat. we will have staffing, people ready to help you, but I want you to learn how to do this so that you are empowered. So at any time, if you need to take in a module, put in a module, take out a module, add video. Closed caption is coming. And Anita, somewhere around in the audience, yes, we're ready for ADA. So faculty members, I'm going to stop because many of you right now should be on this site that I'm going to put right now in the chat, because I would like Dr. Alvin to jump on. Glenda, are you there? And I'm going to have you to just share a little bit more about what you all have in alignment with this. And you on mute. And I put in our TSU site.
I'm sorry.
Life is
I
good.
put the faculty select URL in the Zoom chat, and faculty have been clicking on it. When you get to that site, because it's limited just to TSU faculty, you're going to have to log on. So where it says institutional login, click on that, and you can put in your TSU login credentials, and you'll be able to search your academic field and see what titles are available. And again, it has a link there where it will send directly to me whatever your selection is, saying please order this book. We also have a research guide for OER, and I put that link at the bottom of the link for faculty select. So you can click on that link, and our librarian, Julie Husky, has gone out and created a lot of resources that you can use for OER. We also were part of the HBCU OER initiative, and our librarian, Julie, and Dr. Andrea Tyler in the history department have gotten a grant where they can use OER books in the history, geography, Africana studies, and political science department. So we have been doing a lot. We are trying to get a librarian who will work with our faculty on OER. But if you have any kind of question, if you want to order a book, then please contact me at 5230 or galvin@tennstate.edu. This is going to be one of the major initiatives that the library will be having this year. So we would like to let the faculty know about it and hopefully get a lot of participation with it.
And again,
just as a follow-up, a lot of people are asking about the URLs, and all the URLs that Dr. Melton has referenced, as well as what Dr. Alvin have referenced, will be in the eLearn module in the Pandemic Passport course shell in the module for this session. We will add all the links to that for you all for easy reference.
Okay, and now we're going to take questions. And if you think of anything, please put them in the chat. So I just want to end, and so I can take questions because it's time for action. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen, and I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint just to share with you the ending in terms of, here is our TSU site. And ladies and gentlemen, you again can browse by discipline. How about if you've been working on a chapter, an article, a book, how about mobile apps? Do you know you can add that to this site and have faculty members to review your information and share it back, and also share it across the world? This is another way of getting your work out to the masses. It's another way of having your peers to review your information, just as if you were submitting an article for publication. So we have that built in, as well as we have where you can create your own material. We have built in where it's just cutting and pasting, where you can create a web page, a website to put in your class, or other material. And last but not least, how about a course e-portfolio? What about all of your students as they go through and gather OER information? Would it not be nice for them to have an e-portfolio that would contain all of the information and resources? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to say on behalf of the Hewitt Foundation, as well as a collaboration of state governments, your students can have an e-portfolio free, that they can use anytime, and you can then align it to the course, or it could be outside of the course. So again, this is just a little blurry slide to let you know when you do select materials, you'll see peer reviews, you'll see stars, who use them, and some of them even come with lesson plan. Again, I presented this to you all back in fall 2018, and to let you know there have been major updates. What we have found in terms of OER, if you have a department to look at OER, you will see major benefits, as well as student learning outcomes, as well as investment. Also, we went around the nation to say if the deans and the chairs are involved, you will see greater enhancement of outcomes, as well as student retention. So again, this is to let you know that we are willing to help. We know the challenges in terms of time, attention. So we have employed a grad assistant to help you to find material. So I end with sharing with you something that I hope you will take with you. I have been working with the country of Malawi. They have no non-ilch, zilch materials. They are able to go into the village for one day every other month, and I rent a hotel room for them so they can log on and get OER materials. We have now worked it out where they can download on their devices and work with a lot of the materials offline. One more time, offline. We were able to take them from the last book that they had was 1939. 1939. They didn't even have people of color even in the books. In fact, the books weren't even in color. And just with open education brought them up to the year 2017. And there you see them where we left iPads, old phones. If you have old phones, don't throw them away, because we are able to download on them and bring them up. So as I conclude and take your question, the goal is just to have more of you to try it. And with that, I am ready for questions and answers. So you can unmute, you can ask, but ladies and gentlemen, we got the portal for you. We got staff ready for you. Hopefully we can give you a little compensation for your time and effort, but most importantly, you should be dedicated to say every student should be ready when they hit your class, where everybody have the same materials ready to go. Okay, we're ready. Dr. Galvin and I, we can take your questions. Unmute.
Dr. Melton, this is Josh Moore from chemistry.
Yes.
I put this in the chat, but I figured I'd throw it out here as well. You mentioned the term Creative Commons licenses in the presentation. I know from an online course that I took myself in edX a couple years ago on OER, there's lots of different types of Creative Commons licenses that
Yes.
dictate what you can and cannot do with materials created by other folks, in terms of you have to use it as is, or you can do X but not Y, and so forth. Is there going to be any, I mean, for myself, I can go back to that class that I took and review some of those things, but will there be guidance or training offered to faculty so that when we download something, we know what we can do? If it doesn't fit our needs perfectly, are we allowed to modify? If so, in what way can we modify? And those kinds of things, because people are putting material out there, but they still have retained some ownership of it in some cases.
Thank you, Ed, and you are right. And that's why when I shared with you the TSU site, you saw a division. You saw free and open, and then under that you saw Creative Commons. However, I'm going to let Dr. Galvin jump in because this is her ball game.
I'm sorry, that's a question I cannot answer.
Oh, okay. Okay, yes, I can now answer that. On behalf of the state of Tennessee, we are working, so you are right. There's really like 4 categories. You have those who, yes, you can use my materials, but you better not change anything. Then are those that you can use it, but only this much, all the way down to, yes, life is good. We will have a designation. If you try to download something or use something, there will be a designation letting you know this is whole, part, or whatever. And with the state of Tennessee, we're going to kind of use a color coding. So yes, thank you. And we plan to have more, but yes.
Because Creative Commons also, they have their own little imaging,
the little
decals that you, some of may have noticed these little decals like on YouTube videos, educational videos that we may have shared that they may not have known what it was down there, but they're the different levels of Creative Commons licensing that people applied to their content.
And yes, and just so you know what he's talking about, I'm going to put back in the Vikings, and I'm trying to pick up the little comment. Let me just go to TSU, and I am going to go straight here, find e-textbooks, and here's what he's referring to. You'll see up here, free and open e-textbook, but down here with a Creative Commons license. And I'm trying to find that little symbol so that you all will know what he's referring to. And of course, it's not going to come up right away. However, while I'm here, did you notice that if you can't find it within Merlot, you can also find it within other resources, OER, from all over the world? Then you can also check the web, and you're going to see a new tab come up called Google Scholars, where if you put in, I'm looking for Vikings, if you can't find it here, we have a federated search that will scour the whole world for information on the Vikings to the web, and now Google Scholars. You will also see over to your left, your audience, pre-K all the way down to professional school. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hit you again. We have children at home. We have pre-K all the way up to college at home. This is a free site, meaning that if they're taking a course, let's say it's an algebra course, and they're having trouble, I'm here to share with you, parents, teachers, whether you K-12 public, whatever, you can use this too. We use this for tutorial. And you see for this particular set of material, it's been reviewed. You have information. You see, add accessibility information. So when they review this, they let you know what have been approved. Here's your bookmark that will take it right to your e-portfolio, your discipline, your coded work, to show more. This lets you know all of the information, as well as, like Amazon, if you went here, here are other people who have viewed information and other free books. But Ed, I couldn't find that logo, but you took me to where I'm able to share with others the richness of all of this information. And by the way, this is an open textbook just for math, and with a virtual lab. And if I had logged in, you would be able to see, oh, okay, here's the virtual lab. Life is good. And again, hyperstack online, open line statistic, an interactive multimedia course. And you see, I'm trying to get the interaction ebook, view an Apple book. So you're talking about a book that would usually cost $85 and more. And now it is free, it's reviewed chapter by chapter. But again, Ed, I'm still looking for the Creative Commons. Of course, when this is over, you'll find it. So let me stop for just a few more questions, but you know, I'm here as long as the Lord put me here. Life is good.
Okay, we have, Dr. Melton, we have a couple of questions coming out of the chat, and one of them I will answer, and then, or I may can try, anyway. One is about regarding SAC COC and online courses. Please understand, everyone, that we still have a process and a procedure for developing online courses here at the university. So that process does involve having that course approved as an alternative delivery through the CARF process. You are required to complete the training that we have to do the online course development. And then as a part of that development process, you get a course shell and a master course shell in which you are to put up your materials, and that serves as your sandbox in preparation. And then there's a final review. And so there's one thing when you're saying, okay, I want to use some of these open OER resources like the textbooks and some of the materials as a part of your on-ground course experience. But again, we are still following the same procedures as it relates to fully online courses. Not to be confused with our COVID-19 remote teaching situations where we're all kind of having to do this as a part of that. I mean, those are measures that we have in place to try to operate in this pandemic environment, which is, I know it all gets very confusing, but please know, and we want everyone to work with us on this, is that in order for us to meet our SAC COC requirements, if your plan is to overall to do the course fully online, and that is your intent, and you're just not doing this because of remote teaching, then we are having to follow those policies that we have outlined for online courses.
Correct.
So I think and I hope I answered your question, Dr. Tiller. Is that answer your question?
Mhm.
And then Dr. Kilburn, I hope that answers your question about the shells. I mean, about sandboxes.
Inbox. Mhm.
Okay. And Dr. I think Dr. Hennequin, you have your hand up, so.
Yes, I have a question about how this works with the requirement that all the gen ed courses, all sections of gen ed courses teach from the same book. I teach freshman English, I teach women's studies. We are all required to use the same book for all sections for Intro to Women's Studies or for freshman English 1 or freshman English 2. So are we now allowed to choose a different textbook if we choose it from the OER?
Okay,
No.
that's a very good question. Let me try to answer that. No, you use what you all have agreed to use.
That's
However,
right.
here's that however,
Mhm.
knowing that you have open education materials, maybe as a committee, you can start investigating that as you move forward and you start to adopt or enhance or upgrade what all of you all will use. So in that case, Wendy, I would suggest you don't stop what you're doing, you continue on. But as you meet to improve, like, can we substitute this for later on? So it's more of a strategic approach versus, oh, I'm just going to stop using this. No, we don't want you to do that. If you
And
are,
how does this work with the book bundle?
okay, again,
Well, they're free. I mean, I think it's a little different, Dr. Hennequin, because the book bundle those are publisher textbooks.
Yes.
So, I mean, but then again, if you're, like Dr. Melton has indicated, if your faculty committee or your department has chosen to adopt an OER textbook, then there is no book bundle because the materials would be basically free, right, Doctor? I mean, there would be no charge to the student, so it would no longer be a part of a book bundle.
Correct.
It would be no need to be a part of the book bundle.
Mhm.
Book bundles require payment.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Does
And
that
then-
make sense?
Yes.
and Wendy,
Yes.
to do, we're gonna have a follow-up, but I'm gonna bring in Bethune-Cookman. I'm gonna bring in Southern universities, whatever, and we're going to hear from them. How did you do it? Because they had book bundling before. They had requirements and whatever. So you're going to hear more than just Robbie Melton. This was just, hey, we have an opportunity. We're going to bring people in, even from California, Wyoming, and others, to find out what were the challenges, what are some of the barriers. So please just stay with us. We have time for just a few more. And again, it's Friday. And even though we are remote and it feels like Monday, because they all start blending in the same, I still go, thank God it's Friday. And if someone would let me know of the other couple of more questions in the chat.
No.
I think we got everyone.
So,
Yeah. They've all been covered.
okay, so as we wrap
Thank
up,
you, Dr. Smith.
Okay.
You're welcome.
as we wrap up, faculty, number one, open education resources. The main goal is for all students to have access to the materials first day of classes, where they can go 24 hours, 7 days a week, on the phone, on a tablet, on a computer. They could never come back to you and say, I don't have my textbook, or the dog ate it, or any of that stuff. Okay, number two, we're looking at reducing that debt for the students. So like Wendy indicated, Robbie, we got a book bundle. That might have to wait another year until that committee reviews information, or they can use it as supplementary. Parents, teachers, everybody. Your kids at home and they have various subjects that they need help with, and you can't find or afford a tutorer, guess what? Within the TSU, that's open to everyone, by the way, you can go in and get free tutoring materials. In fact, faculty, if you need a webinar just in your area, as Ed said, wait a minute, chemistry, virtual labs, we need some more information on behalf of TSU Global. Shirley's gonna pass out. You're gonna just see her just melt down. We will set up, whether it's individual or as a department, customized webinars just for you.
That's right.
So I can say, because I've been around, yes, I have. What we have, I don't think another institution, PWI, HBCU, WXYZ, can come to you all like we have prepared. We have worked hard for you all. So with that, I'm gonna see you online. With that, remember, we have a grad assistant that will help you. With that, it's now empowering you. You have other opportunities to enhance student outcomes. Okay, everyone, it's Friday. Life is good. And again, thank you, Cheryl CA and faculty. See you in the classroom virtually.
Thank you, everyone. The assessment is ready in the course shell. So you go out there and get your passport stamp.
Woo!
Have a great weekend.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Muchas gracias.
Thanks for this
Thank
incredible
you.